Hi guys, Chosen Reactions, and this video I'm going to react to episode 2 of season 2 of Babylon 5. Let's get into it.
How much longer will this council be held hostage to its missing members? Their behavior is inexcusable.
Ambassador Delenn remains indisposed.
For how long? How much longer? I thought she cracked out of it already. Well, was about to crack out of it.
Do you have any idea when Ambassador Jakar will decide to grace us with his presence?
God bless your names. You will be remembered with honor. Set jump gate sequence. Destination Babylon 5.
Did he even survive that? I'm surprised that Londo even has the audacity to ask all those questions about Jakar, you know, knowing that he has... I mean, that he is responsible for this.
Last year I came into possession of an alien device capable of draining the life energy from one person.
Oh,
and giving it
yeah.
to somebody else. It was used as a kind of death penalty.
Sounds nasty.
Yes, but it can be used safely at lower settings to heal people.
Are you speaking from personal experience, or?
No. I haven't done it myself, but I have seen it used that way.
But who are you going to use? You know, who's going to get drained?
I understand you're looking for me, Ambassador.
No one is looking for you, please.
The destruction of the non-base in Quadrant 37 is drawing quite a lot of attention.
Yes, that was the
You
intent.
surprised by that?
And you are absolutely certain that it cannot be traced back to me.
Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
You had to use the word shadow.
Why don't you eliminate the entire non-homeworld?
Wow, alright. He just totally...
One thing at a time, Ambassador. One thing at a time.
I thought you would have problems with this.
Oh, one last thing. Small favor in return for our good efforts on your behalf. If you should hear about anything strange happening out on the rim, I'd appreciate being informed.
And I was seriously wondering whether he would be able to, you know, look at himself in the mirror. He has no problems at all. I don't know, I thought he would be haunted by his foolish is not even, doesn't cover it, but decision, and to just, you know, say yes without fully understanding the consequences. But he's just only worried about getting caught. He's even having a little smile about all of this. Wow.
Nothing has ever really been the same between us, not since Anna passed away.
I need more time, that's all.
Johnny, it's been 2 years.
Then why do I still have to remind myself that she's gone? Why, when I see something interesting on the news, I'll say to myself, oh, I gotta remember to mention this to Anna later on.
Then, on dark, deserted worlds where there should be no life, where no living thing has walked in over 1,000 years, something is moving, gathering its forces quietly, hoping to go unnoticed. After 1,000 years, the darkness has come again.
I mean, that was a very well performed scene, but yeah, definitely scared. Oh! What?
Our body's awake.
On our way.
God. I totally forgot about him still being here, of course.
No, I gotta see the commander.
He's not here, all right? He's been reassigned.
Oh.
I don't know you. No. But I think we'll get along just fine.
What are you gonna do? Try to shoot them all?
No, I don't remember. I shot from behind.
Would have been able to kill them all just like that. And what then, huh?
Very soon, Ambassador, I may require your help in the interests of all our governments.
Help? My help? Well, this is astonishing.
Nobody would be
Have you spoken to
excited,
the
but now I'm
others?
like,
No, I was
nope,
just
we
on
want
my way
Londo
to
as
speak
far
with
away as
Delenn.
possible.
Well, you...
Is she standing there? Where is she? What am I hearing? Is it that bad? I mean, the hand isn't really that promising, to be honest.
I am not ill. Doctor.
I mean, you're sounding like you're very ill and in very much, you know, a lot of pain.
What I
You don't have like butterfly
suffer
wings, right?
requires you alone.
Did you turn into stone? What is what?
Stop that. You've been carrying this guilt around for 2 years. She died on a deep space exploration vessel that exploded. You had nothing to do
It
with that.
exploded.
But I'm
so
responsible for her
it
being
could have
on
been
that ship in the
faked.
first place.
Oh.
Well, right after I canceled, she took that science officer's job on the Icarus. Just a 2-week survey. Said she'd be back before I even noticed she was gone.
Oh, wait.
It's supposed to do that?
We have to like peel it off?
I do not know.
Was the cocoon not good enough?
Our ship will arrive in 12 hours, coming out of hyperspace as close to the enemy's homeworld as possible. They will scan the planet for signs of life and return to hyperspace before anyone can attack.
Well, but Londo is gonna tell.
Then all our races stand on the edge of extinction.
The Nans have sent a military ship to
Great.
investigate the world
Great.
called Zahadum. Ah, I see you know it.
Only in passing.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Garibaldi, you have to understand that even if I do go into your mind, even if I do find anything, it's not admissible in court.
I know. Look, I gotta find out who did this to me.
But at least we can start an investigation afterwards.
Yeah, well, it's a little late for that. Now up against the wall. I think not.
Ah, aha, yeah, there it is. Ooh.
What? What'd you say? Ambassador Delenne's out of that weird cocoon, and she's got wings just like a butterfly.
She doesn't have wings. I would have noticed some wings. I know some fabulous wings. Holy moly.
Make my fighting solar year.
He's just gonna be killed. I don't think we're gonna be able to actually question him.
There's a new order coming back home, Garibaldi. You can either be part of it or you can be stepped on. A winner or a loser. I'm with the side that's gonna win.
The penalty is spacing. They put you in an airlock, seal it, and open the space door. You spend the next 5 minutes chewing vacuum until your lungs turn inside out, your eyeballs freeze, and your heart explodes. It's the worst kind of death you can imagine. And when that day comes, I'll be there to push the button.
Really reminds me of Event Horizon.
Be seeing you.
What the fuck?
I want him put on the first prison shuttle to Earth.
I was waiting for that nonsense to be dropped.
During the time I served as vice president under Santiago, I grew to admire and appreciate the man. I owe it to his memory to personally oversee any inquiry. The first shuttle out, Captain, and I want all transcripts, vid, and background material sent with him.
Ah, why would that be? Sure, just for some good, you know, investigation. Yeah, sure. Just saving your own ass.
Pull back! Pull back!
You're dead. You're dead. Ooh, you're dead.
When a warship jumps to normal stasis briefly out of contact because of the energy drain, it might have been attacked during that period. But that couldn't happen unless they knew the ship was coming and were waiting for
And
it.
they knew
But
that.
no one knew except...
What exactly are you implying, Ambassador?
Nothing.
Do you have to be so extra, Delenn? What? What the? You're like, yes, I got a makeover. Everyone is just like, what?
Has her genetic structure changed as well, or just her outward appearance?
I don't know, but she didn't seem too
Yeah, like
inclined
how
to
much
talk
has
about
changed. I can't imagine she went through all the trouble to get like some hair.
John and I were supposed to spend some time together, but Dr. Chang thinks he's found the ruins to an ancient civilization nobody's ever heard of before. The chance to be there when the discovery is confirmed is just too good an opportunity to pass up. I had already decided to put off our vacation and go when John called to tell me that he had to cancel, so it worked out just great. Though the poor dear looked so upset about breaking the news. I wanted to tell him I was going away anyway, but someone said that love knows no borders, and ours certainly proves the point. Well, I'll check in with you when I get back. Though with any luck, you'll hear about it on the news first. My love to Danny and the kids.
I love you, Anna. I've been thinking about this little salute Jack gave me back in his cell. Same as that side cop Bester gave. It's like he was rubbing my nose in something he knew I could never prove. Now, Jack didn't admit anything, but he did say that the Home Guard wasn't behind President Santiago's assassination. But what if it was the Psi Corps? What if they wanted someone in office who was sympathetic to the Corps?
Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed. And everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born.
So he's gone and all the evidence with him.
I'm afraid so.
It wasn't given.
Have you notified President Clark?
He's not taking any calls.
He doesn't need to be notified. He knows all about it. Yeah, get used to it. Alright, this was episode 2 of season 2 of Babylon 5, and I thought it was a great episode. Even though, obviously, they are really succeeding at making me, even more nervous about this whole, this war that is, already kind of going on, but is only going to get even more and more worse. There were definitely tons of surprises in this one. And not just talking about the whole Delenn makeover, but also about Londo. Again, like I already addressed while I was watching it, I was definitely shocked how I guess it seems like he fully got to terms with it. I thought he would maybe be horrified by the events, of the previous season. But he has embraced it. And I guess it shows why they picked him in the first place. And, that was already, bad enough, to say the least. But he also agrees with giving out more information that ends up in even more, deaths of the Narn. But, yeah, I know that he's obsessed with that. Again, understatement. And once again, it reminded us that he can't get enough of, letting the Narn bleed. But it seems that he doesn't even think about, how do I say this? He has some kind of tunnel vision on the Narn and doesn't even consider or think about what this will mean for all the other race, for his own race, or just for the whole universe in general. He's not even spooked in the slightest. Not even that worried about the fact that, he knows that Jakar is right about these worlds that were supposed to be dead 1,000 years ago, and now they're being inhabited again. He knows how powerful these the shadows or whatever are. He knows whatever is going on, whenever these Morden's representative of he knows what kind of damage they can do, but yet he's so focused on this thirst for blood. He's just going to continue to make things even worse for us. And I'm wondering if there will be some kind of moments where Londo will realize the carnage he has created, but I'm not sure. It's not like he doesn't realize it, but maybe, I guess, his feelings will change. Or maybe his priorities will shift, I guess. I have no idea. I'm definitely horrified. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this will continue. But I was even more, I guess, surprised at the fact that Jakar, he figured out, he was this could have been an accident. The only way that they could have been killed there is when they already knew before that they would be there. He was yeah, but no one knew about that except, and yet this chilling silence, and it was oh shit, he also, figured it out. It had to be Londo, and I don't know, somehow expected for him to actually say it, but I guess it's like smarter to not do it, especially because, I mean, that has been stressed as well multiple times, that of all the like current worlds, races, that no one has like the power, you know, to have done all those carnage. That's why he didn't, you know, consider to be Londo suspect in the first place, even though they're like, again, mortal enemies. So I guess, you know, it wouldn't have really made sense for him to call him out, not just because of the lack of evidence, but also like, you know, he knows that whatever Londo wants, I guess, is sort of happening. I don't know. It's very dangerous. And he, you know, he said himself, he's definitely like, yeah, the end, you know, the end is here. I'm still hoping that he hasn't given up. You know, we do have to stop this, but it's very frustrating he didn't get the evidence and that he doesn't have the means to, you know, go for it again, you know, to try again to get some evidence. And Sheridan isn't as convinced either, so I don't know. Then, yeah, let's talk about Delenn. Delenn was finally, you know, emerged out of her cocoon. Showed off her new makeover. I definitely got distracted by the hair. I mean, she herself seemed to be distracted by it, to be honest. But, yeah, obviously I still have a ton of questions, but it seems... I mean, not that she has said a lot, but it doesn't seem that she has, like, memory loss or anything. And I would think they would, like, address it. She just seems to be herself, but, like, with a new look. But I'm not sure how much has changed. And, you know, obviously the others are wondering as well. I still think there has to be, like, also some kind of change, like, inwards. Not just on the outside. Otherwise, I don't really see or understand the necessity of her, you know, change. But then, when I think Lizzie was, like, asking if there was also genetic change, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, yeah, it's not just the hair, but she does seem to look, I guess, more human, maybe? So, maybe for some reason she's also human now? I mean, I know that, like, humans and Minbars are already, like, sharing souls, but maybe she's also now genetically part human. They you know, they worked it out in the show, you know, the differences between Minbara and humans multiple times, and especially, like, the Great Council just being like, humans, and, like, this and that, and, like, oh, we're clearly superior, but, like, Delenn having some kind of fascination, about some, I would say, like, typical, like, emotions or yeah, emotions that humans have. But it would make sense for her to end up being part human herself. And I mean, we had that moment where she was like, what am I? What am I? So I don't know. I do feel like she's maybe part human now, but I don't know. I guess I have to wait and see. But it's, you know, I'm relieved that she's gonna, like, stay here, because I was wondering last episode, like, yo, don't you want to be with Sinclair? But I'm happy that she is indeed staying here as this bridge between the Minbara world and Babylon 5. I was also obviously very happy to have Garibaldi waking up. Yes, I knew that I mean, it would be weird if he wouldn't be okay with him being in the credits and all, but I was still nervous. I was like, how long is he going to stay in a coma? But thankfully he woken up, and I didn't even think about how they would pull it off, but it makes sense that they grabbed the alien artifact of the previous season. I think it was a nice touch. And also a great way of, you know, once again showing us that, okay, you know, yeah, like, Sheridan is like the new guy, but they very, I guess, quickly and easily are, I guess, showing me, you know, that even though he is, you know, literally just put into charge of Babylon 5, he definitely also has this huge sense of responsibility and wanting to be there, you know, for his people. And even going as far as telling Franklin, like, you know, you should take my life force instead of taking your own. And eventually they did come to, like, well, Franklin, you know, was like, yeah, no, we're gonna use, like, the both of us. but I was definitely touched by that. You know, it's again like it's not just saying things, not just, you know, I mean, even though I like this his Lucky speech, but you know, also showing me with his actions that he actually is standing for what he is saying. I don't think that's the right translation, but yeah. But yeah, Garibaldi woke up. It was a definitely rude awakening for him. I couldn't help but think about my sort of rude awakening with the whole like, oh, here's Sheridan, oh, Sinclair's gone, like blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, Garibaldi, I kind of know what you're going through, you know, a little bit. But he seems fine. But I'm still nervous, you know, about like what I said before about how he will deal with this, and especially knowing that he wasn't able to stop the assassination of the president. But we'll see how it goes. But he, you know, while he was able to, with Winter's help, to figure out who tried to kill him, he also came up with a very valid theory, which, you know, honestly, I don't even want to call it a theory. It pretty much seems like facts to me, that I do think it's very likely that Psy-Corps is behind it. I didn't recognize the salute that he was giving to Garibaldi, so I'm happy that they, like, reminded me. But yeah, it has to be Psy-Corps. They, you know, they have been, like, very shady before, and just the whole concept of Psy-Corps. I mean, the whole foundation is shady as hell. I know that's, like, very simplified, but, you know, we already discussed some of that. So yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that they will be behind this, and that they, you know, I mean, they have already done some despicable things. So I don't blame Garibaldi for thinking that, and it makes sense how he explained it. And I do think it was a smart, you know, it was only the logical thing to do, to like ask Winters to like step back, because even like believing or knowing that she wouldn't, you know, stand for what the Psy-Corps, like the, you know, higher ups are like doing, she's very much, you know, under their command, and they can very easily get the information they need out of her if they, you know, if they really want to. So yeah, we can't take any risks. But yeah, I'm curious to see, you know, how much that is going to be unraveled. But after already getting a lot of answers to the previous ones, I'm not really too nervous about that. Yeah, and the vice president, you know, I mean, at this point, I would be surprised if any, you know, like, any of the viewers would be, like, shocked, like, oh my god, corruption? You know, it's part of the drill. I just felt bad for Shadow. I was like, yeah, get used to it, you know. Get used to it. Also, with Sheridan, they continue to, you know, make us, you know, get to know him, or trying to, like, build a connection with him. I think it was a good move to, you know, bring his sister into it, and, you know, it was not only just like, oh, he has a sister, you're getting to see their connection, but mainly it was a great tool for us to, like, find out about this, well, yeah, tragic past, about how he lost his wife. And I don't want to, like, detract from the emotions, but, you know, I can't deny, I mean, I literally said it, that I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't dead, specifically because it seems that they were basically telling us that this, I mean, they were, like, talking about this ancient civilization, that she was like, oh, I can't let this chance go away, I have to, like, be a part of this investigation. So I'm guessing this ancient civilization, I mean, it has to be, like, the Shadows or whatever. So I would not be that shocked if later on, I don't know, this season or show, she would turn out to still be alive. But if that's not the case, alright, but what are you saying? But yeah, that's, like, my theory. But like I said, I don't want to, like, detract, like, take up attention away from the emotion, because I do really think it was well performed. I felt like it was, you know, natural enough for me, the way the characters were talking to each other, to kind of, like, you know, getting, like, the story of what happened. But even more, I was definitely, I mean, like, happy that we got this, I guess, like, message at the end, where we found out, together with Sheridan, that it was, you know, she was already planning on going on that mission. It wasn't because, you know, he was like, oh, he was like so busy, they had to do something else for work, and he kind of like canceled, that she was like, you know, frack it, if he's going to go away on this, then I'm gonna do this. He wouldn't notice me anyway. So I do like that we get that relief. And obviously that doesn't, you know, it doesn't like erase her death, but after all this time, him feeling like guilty, or feeling that if I would have gone to her, if I wouldn't have cancelled, then she wouldn't have been in the ship, she wouldn't have been dead. I can't imagine the way he must have felt after watching that tape. But I don't know, I like that, like, I guess that resolution to this like arc in the episode. And I do think again it was well performed. But yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that there are like good performances in Babylon 5. I think already the episode I pointed out, G'Kar is seen as well when he, you know, was back, made his comeback, had his face off with Natov, and we had to zoom in on his face, but you know, that's the thing. Sometimes with shows when people do like the zoom ins on actors, I'm like, yeah, they're just using the zoom in because the performance itself is not really that great, or it's not as intense. But in this case, it was like rightfully used because his performance was already so good. I was about to have like chills. I was stressed out. I know it was so. How would I say it? I don't know. It just made me feel very concerned, and that's an understatement. But I was already like drawn into the performance. It took me a while before I even realized that we were like doing the zooming, but this was like rightfully used. And I know that we all always have like that red lighting into those quarters. But it worked, you know, I guess coincidentally worked very well with that scene, you know, the red like threatening light of it. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, great episode. And it does, you know, the episode's title, pretty sure it was Revelations or Revelation, but I think Revelations. And yeah, the shadows, I mean, they just are, they are still in those like supposedly dead worlds, just inhabiting the place. I have no idea how many there are. I have no idea how many of those creepy ships there are. I don't think I ever will not be disgusted. But yeah, I mean, the intro itself makes it clear as well, you know. It definitely feels like the end is there, but I know it's not, because we're gonna get through this, you know? Like I said before, we won't need a Babylon 6. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to continue. I think that's it. Alright. Thanks for watching. Bye.